CNN.
Is looking for. That is my question. I'll start with you.
Joe Biden.
So we have this clip. This is Kamala Harris's former VP Communications Director calling for Joe Biden to step down. Check it out.
Phenomenal president. He's lived up to so many of the promises he's made. There's one promise left that he could fulfill, being a transitional figure. He could resign the presidency in the next 30 days, make Kamala Harris the president of the United States.
Whoa.
It would absolve her from being able to from having to oversee the January 6th transition, right, of her own defeat, and it would make sure that it would dominate the news at a point where Democrats have to learn drama and transparency and doing things that the public want to see. Is the time. This is the moment for us to change the entire perspective of how Democrats operate.
This has now jumped from an internet meme to a Sunday morning show.
Jamal's out here right now.
Congratulations.
Season of House of Cards.
I thought you were going to say, what about the Supreme Court? That's also out there.
Well, the Supreme Court might happen. I don't know if it will, but
there it is. They are now publicly stating, it's one guy. This is, let me get his official title. Jamal Simmons, former communications director for VP Harris, saying Biden should step down, make her the president, 47th president, and all of Trump's hats. Sorry.
It's all about the hats and shirts.
I got to buy more hats?
That's right. That 47.
No.
Hey, no. I see that 47. When they make Kamala president, those hats, no good.
They'll be collector's items.
They're worth more
and I'll
money.
just have to buy 45 48s. So
I think there's actually a decent probability this does happen. I do.
Have you factored into it how much Joe Biden dislikes them, though? Is Joe?
It's not about
Joe really going to roll and say you kicked me out from running and I'm gonna resign just so she can be president?
No, I think Joe Biden is already physically on the way out.
So you think they'll 25th him?
I think we could be like. Do you see him trying to walk in the sand?
That was horrible.
I mean, that's tough for any 80-year-old. Not supporting Joe or anything.
The dude was having a hard time walking.
Right.
I'm not confident he's going to be. I don't know if they 25th Amendment him, maybe, but he might just be sitting. He might be sitting in a wheelchair with his jaw hanging up and being like, "I can't do it."
I think in some ways Joe Biden is happier than people would expect him to be right now.
I agree.
I mean, he doesn't like the way he was pushed out. It was a coup. They shove in Kamala, and she gets her butt kicked. And I think he and Jill are just like, this is awesome. We love it.
She wore red on election day.
She wore red to
go vote.
You don't think that's? I mean, she didn't wear her normal floral drapery. I don't couch cover or whatever she wears. She wore solid red to go voting.
I don't think Joe Biden chose to drop out. So apparently the rumor is internal polling had Trump winning 400 and some odd electoral votes if Biden stayed in the race. So Biden was pressured by the Democrats to drop out, and he said no.
Right.
And the rumor is when Biden did drop out, it was via tweet on a Sunday. And the scuttlebutt, probably just rumors, who knows, is that they posted on his behalf and then said, Joe, it's done. We posted your resignation letter already.
Wow.
Yep. Well, he didn't come out and make a statement. And why do you think it is he's so pissed off? Rumor is behind the scenes, he didn't want to leave. And so they forced him out via a letter without him saying anything. Then the next day, you're sleepy Joe, you wake up and you're like, what's going on? They're like, you're out of the race. What do you mean? And they're like, we posted, it's too late, you can't do anything about it. So he's livid. Jill lost all her power.
Correct.
Hunter is on track to go to prison.
Correct.
So I think there's a decent probability this does happen for a few reasons. Joe, is he going to pardon Hunter Biden? He might. Or he steps down for health reasons. Kamala becomes president for 2 months. She pardons Hunter in exchange.
And Joe.
Yep.
Right.
Blanket pardon for any perceived offenses, whatever. Ukraine, Burisma, all that stuff.
I mean, Hunter's not that big of a deal if they pardon him. I mean, we want it to go through the system just so that he's found not guilty because of the terrible.
I want him to sue to the Supreme Court.
Right.
And win.
That's what we want. So we don't need him to. It's not a huge deal if they pardon him. And even if he's found guilty, what's he get? Like a year, a couple of months probation. If it doesn't,
yes.
It's not
I want to make sure this is on the record. I want Hunter Biden to beat both cases.
There we go.
Both the tax case and the gun case. I want him to sue to the Supreme Court and say, you cannot force American citizens to self-incriminate on background check forms, because that's what they did. If you're a drug user, you can have a gun, right? Well, the government's saying, tell us whether or not you're committing a crime is a violation of the Fifth Amendment. Second, the tax thing, okay, this one's up in the air. Maybe I don't really care much about it. They're saying he was hiding his assets and hiding his income so he didn't pay taxes. But, the IRS going after people for taxes, I'm also kind of like, I'm not a taxation is theft kind of guy, but I'm always cheering on somebody who beats the IRS. So, but in all seriousness, I want him to sue to the Supreme Court on the gun charge and win. The tax case, I'm kind of whatever about.
I mean, that would be huge for 2A.
It could get rid of the background check forms.
Yeah.
Or at least they'd have to remove any self-incrimination. Which,
Right.
Yeah, which is big and would be a good thing. But that being said, more to the point,
Yeah.
will Joe Biden pardon Hunter? Can he pardon himself? If there is a real fear that the Burisma scandal, the quid pro quo he was engaged in, and the documents case could result in charges, and they're all screaming Trump wants revenge, right? Okay. If Trump is seriously considering going after Biden, I kind of think he might.
Joe can pardon himself.
Yes.
That would be my position. He absolutely can do it if he wants
But
to.
does it look better if he steps down? Kamala Harris then it gives him the pardon, so it looks clean.
Yeah, that's a total Nixon Ford thing.
Exactly.
That's just an obvious backroom deal.
Exactly. So I think Trump may actually go after Biden. In 2016, at the Trump rallies, I don't think Trump ever said lock her up. I think it was the rallies were chanting that. He did say you'd be in jail. That's what he said. So then he gets elected and says, no, be nice. We're not going to do this. He showed his belly. And what did they do? They went right after him with Russiagate scandal, impeachment. And then in these past 4 years, false 34 fake charges.
Yep.
False sexual abuse case, insane charges. False civil fraud.
The bullshit document, too.
The documents case at the federal level, which they dropped now. I kind of feel like Trump's sitting there and he's just like, the moment I get in, you're all going to jail. I don't see how Trump this time goes, no, I'm still going to let him get away with everything they did to me and my family. So that being said, Joe's going to have to issue himself a pardon on the documents or whatever other federal cases. Maybe he steps down. Kamala Harris does it. Nixon Ford, like you said.
But Joe's 95,000 years old. I'm sure he doesn't care about pardoning his son. If he has to pardon his son, he'll pardon his son. But also, if he has to pardon himself or whatever he does, I don't think he gives an F at this point in time in his career. And I don't think we should go after him just because who cares about this old man doing whatever he wants to do on the beach, sitting nowhere. There are other people we can go after. There's a lot of other people that are playing a bigger part in ruining the American way of life and the justice system. And Joe Biden, he's not one of them.
I mean, I don't see what you gain out of going after Biden.
Yeah.
I mean, and to be honest with you, I do think that Trump would like to see, and this is just my intuition, but I do think Trump would like to see a return to a behavior towards presidents, right? Like I'm sure he doesn't like that they went after him, sure. And I do think that it because of the way that he behaves with other people that have wronged him, like if he doesn't hold grudges, like he's not like there's a bunch of other times where like he's gotten into it with people, and then as soon as they say something nice about him, he's like, oh, okay, it's all water under the bridge.
Bygones.
Yeah. So I really do get the inclination that he doesn't hold grudges, and I do think that he is not looking to punish Joe Biden specifically. Now, I could be wrong. Obviously, this is just a guess, but I do think that because it is bad for the country, because it genuinely is, I do think that he doesn't see a whole lot of benefit to going after Joe Biden or Hunter Biden. He didn't go after Hillary Clinton, and Hillary Clinton clearly had plenty of reason to investigate, especially after all the stuff that with Comey and stuff. It's just my inclination. My
Server in her bathroom.
Yeah,
hammers to all the subpoenaed phones.
Absolutely.
Like Mayorkas is way more important than some other people that he should go after. A lot more illegal things.
There's more tangible
Yes.
negatives that have happened to the American people because of the failure to secure the border. I mean, people have died. People have had family members die. So I do think that's. I think that's more realistic than going after Joe Biden. Even though Joe Biden have definitely failed in a lot of places and didn't do his job. I do think that going after the individuals that actually were directly responsible might be a little bit better. And also it does kind of keep the president and the executive out of it. So.
I mean, I know I'm saying this again, but he's an old effing man. I don't care. Joey, go live on the beach, but let America heal and get back to what we need to do.
I don't know.
What, you want to go after both?
It'd be
I'm just
nice
like
to have the
the-
vindication to know that everything that we've alleged with the shady deals and all the money coming from China is accurate.
I'm saying I don't know if we could ever get something as fantastical as a 25th Amendment or a resignation and a temporary stepping up of Kamala. But I don't know what's going on in Trump's mind, and I am worried that he plays the "we're going to be nice" thing.
I hope he doesn't.
I hope he doesn't.
I hope he doesn't at all.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.